We all know our time here is limited, but we don't know by how much. Are we better off not knowing when we'll die? Or would a countdown help us all to lead happier and more fulfilling lives? What if you knew exactly when you were going to die? What would you change about the way you live? This is What If, and here's what would happen if you knew when you were going to die. It's not a cheery subject. Not too many people like to talk about it. Not too many people like to think about it. Some people joke about it, but that doesn't make it any easier. Death. There, I said it. It's scary, but it also rouses our curiosity.
God, you guys really are dead.
We all know we're gonna go, but we don't know where we're going, and we don't know when. These unknowns are the source of a lot of anxiety.
Do you feel dead?
But should they be? What if knowing the future date and time of our deaths actually helped us, how should I say this, rest in peace? Despite the fact that a lot of people around the world suffer from thanatophobia, a technical term for the fear of dying, there are several compelling reasons why knowing when you're going to die is better than not knowing. In a series of research studies, psychologists asked people with terminal illnesses and inmates on death row to reflect on life, knowing that theirs would soon be over. They then asked a separate group of people to imagine what it would be like if they knew they were going to die. In every study, those who knew they were about to die spoke more positively about life and death compared to those who presumably had a lot longer to live. The people who didn't know when they were going to die found it harder not to think about the negatives, feelings of loss, meaninglessness, and missing out on all the things they didn't get to see or do. But the group who knew exactly how much time they had left found peace in reflecting on their life's experiences and accomplishments. They appreciated their family and close friends and the happy memories they'd accumulated over their lifetime. But imminent death isn't just a time to reflect. For many people, it confirms that we should all live life to the fullest. Once we know how little time we actually have left, truisms like "you only live once" wouldn't sound like cliches. You'd want to use your time effectively, doing the things that mattered most to you. And depending on your bucket list, the sky is the limit. Would you leap from the edge of space? Or plunge to the deepest parts of the ocean? Would you endeavor to see as much of the world as possible? Would you seek out new flavors or intense thrills to remind you of what it means to be alive? Or is life simpler than that? Maybe you'd choose to spend more time with family and close friends. Maybe you'd tell someone special how they really make you feel.
You complete me.
The possibilities and combinations are endless and almost unique to every person on this planet. But you know that some people would still strive to live beyond their time. It's estimated that roughly 1,000 young women move to Hollywood every month to try their luck at becoming a star. To a lot of people, this might sound like an act of pure naivete or glaring vanity, but research suggests that the drive for fame is a little deeper than that. For those who have a hard time coping with their mortality, becoming famous or having a legacy is comforting, knowing that their name and reputation will live on in the world even after they're gone. Of course, there are also plenty of examples of people who, facing imminent death, have used their remaining time to champion important issues and inspire positive change. But whether you think you'd choose to become an activist, a star, a daredevil, or at one with nature, the important takeaway is, start living. You don't need to know how much time is left to start thinking about what it is you want to do and go out there and do it. But if you think knowing would help, scientists have had some success predicting the probability of your death by looking at various markers in your blood. AI is also getting good at determining the length of your lifespan. The idea that we all die someday is undoubtedly scary, but as Edward Abbey once wrote, The fear of death follows from the fear of life. One who lives life fully is prepared to die at any time. So start ticking off the items on your bucket list. Remember that love and kindness go a long way. Think of ways you can make the world a better place and take on the challenge. Make the most of your time because life is short. And unpleasant as that may seem, isn't it for the best? Well, could you imagine what the world would be like if nobody died? That's a story for another What If.